and just do as much as we can to help folks. So tell them again who you are, then Mary, then Larry.
I'm Lisa Jedkins with Why Not Legacy Group. Help people to leave a legacy for their children's children with 15 plus years of insurance background,
Right.
insurance and financial
Right.
background.
Absolutely.
Also, I work in the community, help people understand their history, culture, and culture.
My name is Mary Fears. I'm a real estate broker in Sugar Land, Texas, right outside Houston, Texas. I help people find the home of their dreams and find land and investment homes. So if you're interested, reach out, call me. And I'm also president of Black CO, which Chris is also a part of. He's the mastermind and the recruiter in Black CO. It is an online membership that is moving to Houston. So we got a Houston membership. And if you're interested, let us know. We're connecting Black owners together so we can all get some of the pie.
And Larry?
Good evening again. My name is Larry Richardson. I'm a 25-plus year financial advisor, specializing in the senior market, mastermind wisdom coach. I'm also past member, board member of the NAACP Young Adults Mentoring Program, part of the Homeowner Association of Houston, HOA, Laura Oaks Edition. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. What we are is a collaboration of businesses and people that care for other people. What we're doing here is giving. A lot of the things that we talk about here is just free coaching and counseling. I believe, actually I know, that if you're alive, you have had some problems. You're still going through some problems. That sometimes the help that we can give folks is to help them hear themselves. We all have the answer. We just don't want to pay the price. We just don't want to pay the cost. We just don't want to go through that heavy burden.
Hide from it. We hide from it. I was hiding from my healing. A lot of times we're not healing because we're in a cave. We hiding from it. We don't want to address what's really going on in our life. But you can't hide from it. You got to address it. That's the only way that you can heal.
Absolutely. Because I'm fond of saying that no solution, no action is still action.
Right.
When we choose to bottle ourselves up and hide out purposely, it's the same thing as getting out in the sun and helping someone else that's going through the same thing that you're going through. We're all going to go through it. If God allows, we're all going to go through something. We've all been through something. It can be our health, it can be our job, it can be our children, it can be our relationships, whatever it is, we're going through it. We're transitioning through that. What are we to learn from it? What are we to give from that? Who are we? I'll ask the crowd, who are you? Have we defined who we are? Have we defined the abilities that we have? Have we defined our gifts as the Bible talks about? Have we defined our purpose? Now, one purpose is to serve God. The second purpose is to find that gift in yourself, that thing that you can do to help somebody else.
Right. A lot of time when we talk about gifts, and people have come to me on many occasions and say, well, I haven't discovered my gift yet. And I said, oh, yes, you have. It's what God has put in you that two ways is that everybody around you recognizes that you do very well. Mm-hmm. That's one way to discover your gift. And the other thing is whatever you like to do, that you would do no matter what to the day you die, is a gift. And I was told years ago that God at least gives at least one gift to everyone. Mm-hmm. And some of us have more than one. Mm-hmm. They're very efficient in a lot of areas, but your gift is so important in your life. feeling to give.
Wow, and while you were saying that about the gifts and everything, I kept looking at this book and he passed it to me because people mostly think everything evolves around money. And so what this book talks about is do what you love, the money will follow. That's wisdom.
That's it. Yeah.
Discovering your right livelihood.
Right.
What you want comes because money's gonna come because you need money because it's gonna gravitate to you. If you think about it, it's gonna gravitate, but it's what you do to get that money is what God appreciates, right?
Absolutely. Because a lot of times what we have been taught, I tell this story all the time about my father. My father worked for IBM. When he retired, he gave all of us boys, there were 4 of us, he gave all of us $20,000 in IBM stock with no instructions. No instructions. That's why I'm sitting with y'all today.
If you had an answer what to do,
if I had known what to do.
Oh,
wow.
We wouldn't have gave back the 20
Yeah.
20,000 would be 20 million by now.
Right.
But he did what he knew to do. But I needed instructions. I needed directions. I needed some guidelines. I needed to understand money.
Sure.
That it wasn't just for spending, but it was for creating. And what I created was more debt. And I created a situation that didn't allow me to use that valuable asset that was given to me because I didn't know.
Right.
I want to say hello to Clem Holden, who is the captain of my cook team at Seed Time to Harvest, which is our Hope Church Pearland Sunday School.
All right. Hello.
Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah,
Welcome.
Now, let's get our next one. Where are we?
We're at number 21. Start being attentive to your stress level and take short breaks.
Do I need to take a break when I'm stressed out?
Yes, you do. You need to take a break when you're tired, but especially when you're stressed, because stress does what it says it kills.
Yes, it will.
You know, because when you're stressed out, I have a friend who's going through some things, and you can hear in the tone of her voice how this thing that is going on in her life is stressing her out so much. But you have to take a break and think about why you feel the way you feel. Why are you going through so much stress about something that may never happen?
Do you think it's important to name the stress? Give a name to the reason I'm choosing to.
I think it's very important because I have a friend too. She's going through a lot, but it's because she's choosing to.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, you can't be everywhere for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Every time something happens, you can't fly off and save the world. I mean, that's why we got God, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you choosing somebody telling you this, and you choosing to make that part of your, okay, I gotta carry this. This person say, okay, this person say they need some money, I gotta carry this, okay. You know, you keep on carrying all this stuff, and then when you got all this stuff on your back and you break down, and I ask her, when you break down, who's gonna help you?
I say that all the time. Who's going to take care of you when you're stressed out and can't take care of yourself? You may have family members to take care of you,
But 9 times out of 10, you don't.
Yeah.
Well,
To be honest.
Yeah. Well, but even
And you don't want to put that on anybody.
the secular
anyway.
world knows that you have to take a break. Even that's why they call it vacation or time out or whatever you want to call it. But biblically speaking, what would Jesus do? Jesus took a break. And he's the best example of how we live our lives. If he, in his short period of time of ministry, had to take a break, then shouldn't we?
Sometimes he walked away and left everybody else there.
Okay. So you
I'll
can
see y'all later.
Right. And most of them went to sleep.
He went to sleep. The boat going.
Right.
Absolutely.
He would take a break. So if he did, then why would, what do we think in our body to make us think that we can keep going and going and going?
And if you don't tell people that you can, they don't know.
That's true.
Move closer to that mic and say that.
If you don't tell people you can't, they don't know.
Right.
And then that's your choice. And then like, okay, you know what? Today I can't do this. I need to tell them no, I can't.
Do we
Do
choose
it.
to feel bad about saying no to people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah,
take
it
too much
was a
responsibility
resounding
on
yes.
ourselves. Well, especially when it's your children.
Well, with my
Especially.
children, if they ask me for money, there's a lecture that comes with it.
Oh,
There's
They
always a
learn.
lecture.
They
Yeah.
always-
Yeah.
How did you get there?
Right.
When am I gonna get it back so I can give it to
Exactly.
you again? What lessons have we learned? What is your spending habits and who
Right.
you're spending it on? If you're gonna ask me for my
Are you
money,
going out to dinner?
yeah, I'm
I've
gonna
been
ask
out
you.
here, you going
I'm
out to
gonna
dinner to
ask
the
you,
movies. Like,
what-
okay.
What
I
you
am too.
what is it that you're doing for
Right.
you to have to?
Yeah.
If you lost your job, that's one
That's a
thing.
different thing, right?
You know, so the plan is: are you gonna get a job? What's your interviews? How much money do you need to get to the job?
Right. When is your first?
So what I hear you saying is that your kids don't ask you for very much money.
Very much money.
Because I'm already going through that. That one right there, that's a lot.
That is
I
a lot.
understand.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having so much fun
Absolutely,
here.
absolutely.
But it is 6:30, and we said that we were only going to do an hour and a half
Correct.
today because we have some other places we need to be, some other people we have to help and serve. So we want to say to you, we want to thank you for being with us this evening, for
Thank you.
giving us the comments that you've given us here. We ask you to share this Facebook post with everybody you know.
Correct.
And then join us again next week, because next week we have some couples, some married folks. We're going to talk about relationship. We're going to talk about communications. We're going to talk about respect. We're going to talk about how us men have to take out the trash. And actually what it really means, it don't mean take the trash out. It means show me that you care. Show me that you are treating me with value. It means security. So we're going to talk about some of those things next week. I have Larry's going to be here with his wife. My wife is going to be here. I've invited Tony
is
LaBar
awesome.
and his wife.
That's good.
I've invited our minister, the minister leader of our church marriage ministry.
Okay.
I'm not sure he's going to be here because he lost his mother today. And I said the word lost. His mother transitioned today.
Learning.
Yeah,
You're learning.
because we have to, we want to help people by saying the right
Right
words.
thing, right.
Right.
But she's not lost. We know where she is. She's
Right.
with God.
Yes.
So
We're going to lift him
And
up in
this-
prayer also.
And these married couples been married, 20, 30, 40 plus years, which is a good thing. Because when you go through a divorce, someone said to me, how can a divorced person tell a person how to stay married? My parents were married 45 years before my father passed away. But I made the choice to be divorced, not knowing what I know today. You know, because, your parents teach you the right way, but when you're younger, you go off and do it your own way because you think that's what's right. But I'm glad and I commend these men for being with their wives. They respect their wives. They talk highly of them, and they remind me of the men, of the old school men who really loved their wives, treated them, cared for them. And I think everyone, whether you're single or married, should be on that to listen to these long living, long life married couples who love their wives.
He counting the money.
And they do. I was telling you.
That's
Let me pay you for that, girl. That's some good stuff there.
That's right on
I
it.
pay for that.
Hey, that sounds like a wisdom mastermind wisdom coach. No wonder she got at the flume. The high on it.
Very high.
Yeah,
Very
right.
But you can't find that often because
Yeah.
people are not teaching us to be married, the young people to be married. They're teaching relationship, but they're not teaching the real cause of why to be in a relationship. And so come back, you guys, next
Absolutely.
week.
But I think some of the young people that have seen good marriages, they're learning. Because a lot of young people get married because they've seen it and they know it's working. They know it's not easy, but they know it's worth it.
Well, they know and they are learning
Yeah.
that
From what?
it is another job.
Yeah.
Marriage is a job.
Oh, it is a job.
And you got to put in some overtime
Oh
sometimes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a good thing.
Oh yeah. I agree.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us for the Mastermind Wisdom Table Talk live at 5. We'll be back next Thursday, same time, and we're going to have some couples with us, and we're going to set it up a little differently so we can, if some folks want to come up and ask questions live, we'll answer their questions here. We're at
2646 South Loop West, Suite 378, and that's zip code 77 in Houston.
Correct.
Zip code 77054. I just didn't want you guys to think they were going to New York to talk about
Yeah,
marriage.
we'll be right here.
They're going to be right
Right
here.
here. And we want to
so you can come up.
Sure.
Go ahead,
We want to
Larry.
just thank everybody for your comments and your input, because we want those same things for next week also.
Absolutely.
Because it helps the show, helps you, and helps us to grow.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any last words, Mayor?
I just want to thank you for inviting me, and I enjoyed it, and it's good to be around positive people with just thinking about the changing mind and changing people precepts of what life is all about, and they know that they can also change their life when they change their mind.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. You're learning. You've been listening
Change
in.
your thinking, change your behavior, changes you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have to go.
Bye.
All right. Good job, Miss Mary.
Thank you.
High five. We got high fives on our
Okay.
team here.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I get some
Good
water.
job.
I'm good.
Yep, right behind.
Thank y'all for inviting me.
Okay, next time tell them to come on up. He'll come
Yeah.
on. Once he
Well,
come up and-
he can see it, review it. Plus
Mhm.
plus you got a chance to go back on it. Yeah. You can-
Yeah, I have it on here.
and go to YouTube. It should be on YouTube, Sean.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lisa, we're going across town to a meeting with